He's built multiple businesses, scaled a team, and still hit that same problem most founders face. One constraint silently limiting growth. Today, we break down what it is and how to fix it. Let's break the ceiling.
Break the ceiling! Break the ceiling! We don't stop, we keep on reaching. Break the ceiling! Break the ceiling! Turn it up, we're breaking through. Break it through.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Break the Ceiling podcast. Today, I'm super excited to be joined by Jake Rath. Jake seems to have a lot of fingers and a lot of different things. So we're gonna let Jake kind of introduce himself and tell you a little bit about what he's got going on.
What's up, y'all? My name's Jake Rath. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee originally, currently living in Tampa, Florida. I've been in the fitness scene for a little over 6 years now. I started personal training when I was 18 years old in Knoxville, Tennessee, where I was playing rugby at the time. I played rugby for about 10 years, played at University of Tennessee for 4. I ended up winning the national championship my sophomore year, which was really fun. And, what really got me into fitness was seeing the difference between, becoming an athlete and also recovering from, all the injuries that I had. I had tons of injuries over the years. So I learned how to work around those injuries, but also help other people recover from their injuries and get to that next level. And so after college, I moved down to Fort Lauderdale, started my own personal training company, which I call Rathletics Performance, kind of put a twist on my last name, and basically started doing in-person coaching, and then expanded that into doing online coaching as well. And that led me into owning a personal training company. Not personal training company, led me into owning a run club called Stride Social, where we've grown and scaled as far as the Southeast goes. It's been amazing. And now I'm starting on my third venture, which is called Topset Fitness, which basically we help influencers monetize their following through fitness, influencers and athletes, anybody with a good following. It's been an amazing, wild ride. So I'm excited to tell you more about it.
Awesome. Well, again, thanks very much for being here. And this podcast, as we know, is one in which we get to know the coaches, the business owners, but we talk strategy. We want to understand, what their mindset is in terms of why they got into this space, what they're leveraging as their competitive advantage to kind of really stand out in the space, because we know the space is extremely competitive. So Absolutely. What are you doing, Jake? Obviously, you've got multiple endeavors. What are you doing, on a personal level to try to stand out amongst the crowd in this really, really crowded niche?
Absolutely. I think there's so many different things that really set myself apart from other people. One being, the niche group of, former athletes that come into play. I've had so many injuries over the years playing a high contact sport, playing rugby, dislocated my shoulder, broke my hip, broke both my ankles, hurt my knees. Pretty much anything you could hurt, I probably did at some point or another, which, my body's falling apart, but I've learned and taught myself how to be able to, recoup from that and help other people as well. So injury specialization and recovery, something I've been able to really set myself apart with. And also being able to relate to people on a high level. I work with, men, women, old, young, I've worked with everybody in so many different realms, not only in person, but online, to be able to help them recover and get, to the best level that they could be at. So that's kind of where I've been at recently.
Love it. So when you kind of strike a chord with me when you start talking rehab, because that's my world. That's my day-to-day every day. I do PT, sports PT. So I love how that kind of drives people into certain little avenues and kind of develops that passion for, not only getting themselves better, but getting other people better too. So that's really cool. Love that.
So had my fair share of PT. I tell you what, been in there.
What's that?
Had my fair share of PT. Been in PT a lot over the years.
I bet. We call it job security. Sports is job security for us, right? So we love it. So in terms of, we'll start with your personal training, Rathletics, and then we'll dive into Topset. But with regards to Rathletics, is it you solo, or do you have a team with you? What does that look like?
Yeah, so Rathletics Performance started out in South Florida as just me doing in-person coaching one-on-one. And so the way I started out is I was working for a company previously doing sales. I got let go from that business and decided, I've got to pick up some odd jobs, start working at a gym as a trainer, and realized how much I was getting cut out of, most of the money that was being made from actually training the clients. So from there, I've always had the idea to start my own company. And so just pulled the trigger and did it. And so I bought a ton of equipment on Facebook Marketplace and filled up my 4Runner and would drive to people's houses and, pull up to the house, the, multi-million-dollar homes, people train people out of their comfort of their own home. So I would save money from not being able to have to pay a gym membership, or, a gym fee to be able to be a trainer. And I would also make more because it would be an at-home service where I'm able to, provide that white glove service of pulling up to your house, being able to train you out of the comfort of your own home. So that's how Rathletics started out. As it started to grow and scale and get to a higher level, I started to realize that I needed to bring in other people. So the big reason that happened, I went on a dating show last summer in Europe, and I needed somebody to cover all my clients. I didn't want to just kind of leave everybody in the dirt. And it was tough leaving on a couple weeks notice, but I ended up finding trainers to replace me. And that was my first time really expanding into realizing that a company is only a company when it can grow without its owner, and that's exactly where your company gets to that next level. Obviously, it's going to take some growing pains over time, but that's how you're going to grow and expand. And, the goal is to make money when you sleep at the end of the day. And so that's exactly what I did with Rathletics. I started hiring out trainers to work for me. Basically, I had trainers, go to other people's places. I pay them their base rate, and then bada bing, bada boom, you're making money, having fun. I did treat my trainers a lot higher quality than most gyms. I would give them a larger margin of the price rather than most gyms, which give trainers, relatively, pennies on the dollar when it comes to actually training the clients. So that's something I really, made sure of, is to take care of my trainers that would work for me, to incentivize them to, honestly want to stay with me and not go to the gym as well. So over time, kind of as things started to expand, I started getting new venture opportunities. I started traveling, doing new things for work. I started realizing that I didn't have the time and effort to be able to do one-on-one coaching anymore in person. So I started expanding online. My team shrunk down from in-person coaches to online coaches. I mainly run all my high ticket offers when it comes to my inner circle offering. I do have trainers under me who I have about 2 trainers right now that are doing my online coaching for me under me that aren't on my high ticket coach or my high ticket offer, I should say, with my my one-on-one inner circle. Outside that, I do have my coaches training those people, and I have a sales team that works under me. I have virtual assistants to help organize and kind of scale everything. And then I've got actually a mentor in the scene who I just kind of look up to, ask questions, help me kind of build out and create strategy that makes sense.
Who's the mentor, if you don't mind me asking?
His name is Raphael Maluk. He's not necessarily in the fitness scene, but he's just been in online sales for years, and he's an absolute animal with it. So the guy's helped me grow and scale so much at a high level, and he's scaled a lot of different celebrities offers and big people's offers, and so he's helped me out a ton. It's been a great connect for me.
So with regards to your inner circle, what type of service does that, or how do you differentiate that type of treatment, that type of care, that kind of service from your other clients, and then from a dollar and cent value, how does that differ between the two offerings you have?
Yeah, of course. I would say the in-person coaching for the one-on-one is a little bit different. Or no, my bad. The online coaching. So my regular offer of just online coaching to work with my team is just custom workout, custom meal plans, and check-ins once a month. Similar to that would be the inner circle offer. However, the inner circle is you get to work with me directly one-on-one, and we have weekly calls. We're going over a lot more in depth on how we can be able to perform these things. There's going to be FaceTime videos that you're looking at me one-on-one. We're actually having that time together to be able to make sure that you're achieving your goals. We have different levels of offers where something's just like we create you the plan and you're good to go. You're one of those people who's a natural athlete. You don't really need a lot of help. It's a cheaper option. You take that on. You need a little bit of guidance, but can't quite afford the one-on-one coaching for me or my inner circle. Then you just work with my coaches. They are amazing coaches. These coaches have been in the game for years. I've got one guy and one girl, and wow, they have changed the game for me. So they've been able to really help me grow and scale. With having a lot of other businesses, I haven't had the time to be able to, give to every single person. And so being able to have that secluded group of people in my inner circle that I really give all of my time and effort to from a personal level, that's, kind of where it's been the different as far as the charging for.
Gotcha.
Now, as far as pricing mode, that's something that over time I've kind of adjusted depending on, what my offer has been at the time. I recently launched my inner circle offer at the beginning of this year. And so typically we do, it's $4,000. And so it'd be 4K. So 4K for 4 months of coaching. So $1,000 a month. We do offer payment plans and stuff like that, through a firm, through Afterpay and stuff like that, to be able to make sure that we can get that payment up front. I've struggled with that in the past with other people as well, as with the payment processors, and making sure that you can find a proper payment processor that will actually get you to that next level, and be able to achieve that. Where I've put myself on different things where I've been doing the monthly payments in the past, and that's come back to bite me in the butt, a few times. So now we make sure that we get the money up front, and then obviously, provide that white glove service. My goal at the end of the day is not to just receive the money, but take that and put it back into my team and actually make sure that these clients achieve their results. With that being said, it's kind of crazy to see how many people actually really put in the time and effort. I've had so many clients over the years. I've been online for about a year and a half now, and it's crazy to see how many people have actually really devoted their life to seeing these results and make a change and put this effort into it. It's phenomenal to really see that it's actually possible to make a difference from thousands of miles away. I've got clients in other countries like South Africa. I've got clients in Scotland. I've got one client in Australia. It's crazy to really think that these people all the way on the other side of the world are asking people from America for advice, and I've been able to provide that on a high level. And as much as I've grown on social media, that's been my main marketing point that has continued to bring in leads over and over again, and really help people achieve their results through my constant learning and my constant experience in the fitness scene.
I love it. I think from somebody that has utilized I'm in the fitness space myself. I'm a strength coach, PT, all that good stuff, but I've still utilized online coaches myself for certain aspects, because again, who better at training you than you? I think sometimes that kind of begs to differ a little bit, right? Because you're not as objective on yourself as maybe other people may be. So I think it's great to get another set of eyes on you and to help with your programming and such. So I think it's also adds a level of accountability to the whole process, which I think is really undervalued too. So with regards to your ability to have a large pool of clients, let's say, like, are you at capacity now? How many of these high ticket personal one-on-one type of interactions are you currently able to have, and how many do you have right now?
Yeah. So with that being said, I think 53 clients that I'm helping out with my low ticket, mid tier ticket offer. Between my two trainers, I have about 20 on each. The rest are both on, the main tier ticket offer where we create the plans and they just do it on their own, kind of like a self-taught course. And then for the high ticket, when it comes to the one-on-one coaching with me, I believe I have 8 people in my high ticket offer right now. I don't do my ceiling's 12 right now. I don't want to do any more than 12 just because, my time and effort, I value a very high level, just because, who I am, what I've been doing, and the achievements I've been able to, create. I want to be able to give that time and effort individually to each one of these people and make sure that they can achieve their results. I'm not going to be out here trying to have, 50 people in my inner circle when I can't personally deal with that, when I have a lot of other stuff going on. So I want to make sure that all these people have 24/7 access to me to be able to get those questions answered that they need, and to be able to get that guidance, and also the accountability, like you said, and make sure that, I keep these people accountable. It's hard to keep 50 people accountable. I'd much rather have, my trainers, keep all these more people accountable. But if you're in the high ticket offer, working with me, I want to make sure that I can actually have that personal relationship with you.
Do you actually know how much revenue your business is losing right now? Not guessing, not a ballpark. I mean the exact number, because most businesses aren't stuck because they're doing the wrong things. They're stuck because one constraint is silently capping their growth. That's exactly what Ceiling IQ shows you. In under 5 minutes, you'll see how much revenue you're losing. It's free, no credit card. Just go to ceilingiq.com and get your number. Now back to the episode.
Relationship with you.
Are you ready to scale, let's say, your other lower ticket items or offerings, we'll say? Are you at a place right now where you're able to take on more, or is that in terms of like the number of people you can train, or staff, or both? Like, do you have enough leads coming in to deal with that demand?
Absolutely.
Okay, you do.
So when it comes to leads, that is something that I've kind of had a recent skyrocket in. I was on a dating show that came out 2 weeks ago now, and it's created a lot more leads for me than I ever expected. Just being able to have a consistent income of.
Should we show this right here, Jake?
Yeah. Here it is. There it is. Love Overboard. It was an amazing show. So I was kind of like the fitness guy on the show, keeping people, in shape. Funny enough, they didn't show it live. Got a couple of pictures, but I was training a lot of people on the cast, in the actual show itself.
Nice.
So that was a super fun and entertaining environment to be able to be in, especially when it comes to fitness. But when come back to leads, leads are something that I have come and go over time. Creating a consistent lead basis is something that I've been able to, start to learn about. There's definitely been its ups and downs. Honestly, when I went straight into online, I lost a lot of in-person clients. I lost a lot of my funding. I didn't have the money consistently coming in. And so one of my goals was to be able to, create better content, create more content around fitness itself to be able to get to that next level. I've separated Rathletics Performance and Jake Rath from each other. And that's something that I was trying to struggle with at first, is like almost an identity crisis of like, how am I going to be able to promote? Obviously my personal page is a lot more exposure, versus my, Rathletics Performance page, which has, less exposure, but I want to have all my fitness content on there where I can kind of blast that out to other people. So once I've kind of figured that out, it's made things a lot easier. I'm still kind of in the process of figuring out that marketing strategy. But right now we're in a great spot. We're moving well and we're helping people every single day.
Nice. So when I start to think of businesses, I think of, the theory of constraint is my big platform, the thing I really believe in, whether it's a lead generation problem, a booking efficiency problem, a conversion problem, a capacity problem, or a retention problem. Those are basically the 5 constraints that I tend to identify when I'm looking at businesses and my own business, et cetera. What would you say in your eyes is your biggest constraint currently right now in the business? And what are you doing to address that?
Yeah, my biggest constraint, I would say, is just consistent leads. Is just building that funnel, and really making sure that I'm able to curate that while being able to focus on all my other businesses, while being able to, focus on the clients I currently have, still looking to grow and expand to that next level so that I can, create, that top of the funnel sort of thing. So that's going to be the content, that's going to be the outreach, that's going to be the consistent, educational value that you're able to provide with that free value to be able to get the people interested, hooked, and then bring them into, my sales team, which is able to, talk to these people, close them, get them in and set up with me so that we can start moving to the next level. So that's something that I've been working on with my team on a consistent basis, is like a content strategy, content build out, and also just like how I can be able to provide that free value where people want to hit the follow button, where people want to hit that book a call button, where people want to fill out that form to be able to be interested and not just feel skeptical about anything.
So 2 questions there. Number 1, from a retention standpoint, how long are your high ticket clients staying with you? So generally speaking, you're talking like 4,000 for 4 months, so 1,000 a month. Do they usually sign on for multiple blocks, or is it usually like one and done?
Yeah. So, my previous high ticket offer, I guess we can start there, because currently we're going into the 4th month of the high ticket offer. So I haven't quite had my clients fall off yet. But all my clients seem very interested. I've helped so many people achieve their goals, and everybody who's been in my inner circle has absolutely loved it so far. I do fun interactive things. One thing I didn't mention, I do weekly calls with kind of like seminar sort of things, sort of like this, where I'll just kind of go through, do like Q&As, help people out, recover, recovery questions, anything that they ever could have. And I'll kind of pick a topic every week and just have conversations with people about, when it comes to diet, exercise, stuff like that. Anything in that realm, I'll kind of give basic advice for my crew, and obviously open the platform for anybody to be able to ask those questions. But back to your question, basically it's just comes down to, how am I able to make these people feel like they get their money's worth and achieve their results? And that's going to come directly down to, are they putting in the time and effort? And that comes down to accountability. So making sure that if it's not me, then have somebody on my team reach out to them and make sure like, hey, how are you? I want them to feel like they're heard, even though it's through a screen, even though it's through a computer. I want people to actually feel like I'm actually there and there for them, because I really want to be. You'd be really surprised how many clients will pay for something top dollar and just not show up to anything. And it's nuts. And I'll reach out. Like I've got a client right now, and she purchased my high ticket offer, and she's my inner circle. And man, I've reached out to her for the past, like a couple weeks, and like nothing. And like you'd be real surprised, like how many people just pay for stuff and just like never show up. And I'm like, we're giving you as much as possible here. Like, come on,
I'm doing
I'm doing the best I can, and part of the game. And, nothing, that we've done. It's just people just stop. People give up on themselves too early. So it's really creating that belief system.
Even more reason to get that money up front, right?
Bing bong. Exactly. That's kind of one thing that I struggled with in the past when it came to the month-to-month payments and like doing payment platforms or payment structure myself. That's why we started doing the payments up front, just because people just give up. And that's something where I want people to not only invest and pay up front because like I'm able to get the money, but also because I want you stuck into this plan because I want you to make sure that you achieve your results. There's no turning around. Like you're bought into this. So do it, get it done. Make sure that I'll give you every step in the book. I tell all my clients this every day. I'll give you every blueprint on how to be able to achieve results. It just comes down to you actually do it. I'm not going to be able to like make you go to the gym every day. I'm not going to be able to cook your food for you, but I can tell you exactly how to do it properly and answer any question you ever have to really make sure that you achieve your results and literally be like your overman. But it's going to come down to you at the end of the day. Even when it comes to in-person coaching, that was one thing I struggled with as well. I give this guidance on meals and, when I'm obviously not there to coach them in person, give them the meal guidance. I give them the recovery guidance. If, it's on you to achieve that, to be able to get it done. So to answer your question, just make sure that people really feel like they've achieved their results and are happy with where they're at.
Perfect. Now, you also mentioned, I think we touched on it a little bit before, but you have some virtual assistants. What are the main tasks of your virtual assistants? Are they doing the content? Are they doing more of the close that, the lead to books to help you with your closing and getting them, in front of you to kind of make the final sell? Like, what do you have them all doing? And where did you find them?
DM setting is a big one. So like I have people in my DMs a lot, with them being in social media, relatively, I get about 10 million views a month on my page. So having all those views is like, how are we going to convert to all these? I've done a mini chat automation in the past, but I only really stick to like one or two of those. I've recently pulled it out just because I love, as much as I love mini chat, it's just so fake for me. So I have my DM setters outreach to people, and you're like, whoever's qualified from, whoever follows me, it's like, hey, blah, blah. We appreciate you, for the follow. We'd love to, talk to you about some one-on-one coaching, something along the lines of that. But I've given them DM setting sets, scripts, from me and, my mentor as well, which really makes sense to be able to retain these clients. And you'd be so surprised how many of these people actually really answer and really are like, yeah, I do need help, kind of like find those pain points for them. We're actually able to help them achieve it, whether it's, just that basic offer of just building out their plans, or whether that's actually come to work with me one-on-one on how to take an offer. We've been able to help all these people. Virtual assistants, like I said, from that, responding to a lot of emails for me. I get a lot of brand deal sponsorships and stuff like that when it comes to, on a personal level. So having them work for me with that. And anything that I'm unable to directly respond to, on a, chat level, I have them respond or just notify me if they don't know the answer to the question, then I'm able to go in there and actually achieve that goal for them. Also helping out my trainers with anything that they need. That's kind of the cool thing about these virtual assistants is like they're EAs, which executive assistants, like they just kind of have access to like all my stuff, and like anything that needs to get done, they get done for me.
Gotcha.
So
are they located here in the States, or do you find them like in the Philippines?
They're foreign. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy, but like, I mean, man, these foreign people, like if you pay them, top dollar in their country, then it's nothing to us. And it's almost like, free opportunities for me. I mean, I've got people who I pay, $2 an hour. I have people who I pay up to 12. And I get bonuses. I love giving bonuses, and they love it too. I tell you what, like I'll send some of my people out in the Philippines, I'll send them $100 and they're ecstatic. They're going crazy. I'm like, all right, you help me achieve. I tell them, all the time, I'm like, you're helping me build my business just as much as any.
What is your time worth, Jake? Right? That's what it comes down to. How much is your time worth, and how much are you getting back from paying them, $2 an hour to do the things that, number one, really generate more of the revenue and really, fulfill you and what you need to do, and really kind of allow you to do the important things or the higher ticket things, right? And get some of the mundane tasks to them. So that's perfect.
And finding out what your time's worth is exactly what I figured out with in-person coaching, because you're actually trading that hour for, your coaching time. So that's where it was a direct correlation. So yeah, I really think that that's something that obviously time is money now, sitting here
100%.
talking to all these rich people. I mean, a rich person is paying to save time, save money so that not save money, to save time so that you can spend it on doing whatever else you want to do in your life, to make more money, to spend time with family, to do whatever, go work out, to do anything that you want with your life.
Correct. So, all right, let's pivot a little bit here because that's a business that you've had for a little bit. Let's talk about your new venture. That's the Topset. That seems real exciting. It sounded like, in the intro a little bit, you're kind of all ready to go with that. Give me a little bit about what made you get into that, number one. Number two, what's your plan for launch? Because that's a strategy thing, right? So let's talk about what your plan for launch is and just your overall goal, big picture, what you're hoping to accomplish with that.
Topset Fitness is one of the coolest new fitness waves, I think, that is going to take over social media. So Topset Fitness is basically, in a nutshell, we take influencers or athletes or anybody with a large following, and we help them monetize their following through fitness, meaning that we build them their offers when it comes to building a custom landing page, custom workouts, and we work with these influencers to figure out, all right, what do you do on a week-to-week basis? And we help them create these into white label products that we're able to help grow and scale and help them monetize their following with that. Sort of like how you can have a link in your bio for your workouts and people can go click on that, buy your workout. So imagine you as a consumer can go buy your favorite athletes' workout plans, your favorite influencers' workout plans, because those are the people that you idolize in your life and you want to look like at the end of the day. And so, helping these consumers be able to purchase, something and support their influencer while also helping the influencer create passive income all at the same time. And so we're able to create these digital products. And the cool thing too is there's multiple levels to it. Every workout plan that we're able to sell, also comes with guidance on okay, cool. Here's a peptide guide that we would recommend to go with this. Here's a supplement guide that we recommend to go with this. Here's a meal guide that we recommend to go with this. Those are 3 different companies at the end of the day that we're also able to integrate within our products to be able to make sure that.
And you're creating all those and giving those to the influencers?
Yes. So all these companies, basically we get percentage of sales.
Okay. So they're not your companies that you're basically partnering with other. Gotcha. You're partnering with other companies to come in and to kind of give those offerings. Gotcha.
Yes, absolutely. And so we're going to be, charging for, these companies to be on that list. If you want to be the peptide company to be on the list, we're also selecting people that honestly fit in our criteria of high quality brands. I'm not going to work with, just the cheapest brand. Like I refuse to put C4 on there, so I'm not putting the cheap Walmart stuff on there. I'm actually putting high quality brands that I truly believe in. And making sure that obviously they fall under the influencers' rights to be able to promote that product as well. And so we're able to provide almost kind of like a agency sort of situation, a sponsorship level of being an affiliate. So you basically get to be an affiliate and get all these payouts on. So you're hitting 4 or 5 birds with one stone immediately. And so that's what we're able to do. In the future, my goal is to integrate a high ticket offer of one-on-one coaching for customized plans. However, we want to really make sure that we achieve the bottom tiers first of, these challenges, which are low ticket offers. So it'll be 30-day, 90-day challenges of how to get abs in 90 days. Right. This is what you're going to buy. You want to 5K in 90 days, and how we do all these different challenges in the bottom. The mid-tier offers can be something like what this influencer does on a month-to-month basis. All right. So you want to figure out what LeBron James does for his workouts on a month-to-month basis. We're able to build that out for him. We work with the influencer to figure out, all right, what do you actually do? And, how can we actually make this better for one from, an influencer or from a trainer standpoint? How can I make your workouts better and more monetizable, for a girl who does Pilates all the time, how can we actually build an influencer who does Pilates? Yeah, obviously we can't really sell anything that, they're able to just be like, oh yeah, go take Pilates classes. It doesn't really work, So how are we able to build those workouts around them to be able to help them out? One of my good friends, he's a boxer. And so we're going to be creating, boxing style workouts, boxing style conditioning, training, high rocks, and different things like that, where we're able to integrate those products and create them into digital products where they can monetize their following. So
what are you using as a cutoff to justify whether or not somebody is able or has enough of a following to kind of be able to make it into Topset?
Yeah, so that's something actually we're working on right now to try to figure out exactly what that cutoff is, because I also, as a influencer myself, don't necessarily believe in the followers are the sole source of what really translates over to sales. A lot of people think that, oh yeah, the more followers, the more buyers. No, not at all. I know people who have 2,000 or 3,000 followers as like trainers and coaches who make way more money than people with hundreds of thousands of followers.
It's how invested they are in you as a person and how connected they are. It's
very true.
It's the difference between a lead and a strong lead, right?
Yes, exactly. However, we're working with, our top 5 hero clients is what we're, kind of like our who are our stars on the board. We're working with our top 5 hero clients that I have personal connections with, that we're going to be launching with, including me as one of them, and that's kind of where I'm going to be transforming Rathletics into a branch or like my page for the offer with this. So it's going to be my low ticket offer for Rathletics is going to be on the Topset page. So if I can't sell it, then nobody can at the end of the day. Right. It's my product. And so I want to be that first person. And then from there, we're going to pivot into our top 5 influencers that we truly believe are, in this product. And this is a done for you product. This is a done for you process that is, we're able to provide the marketing support. We're able to provide, so much more value and creation into all of their products to be able to help them make a lot of money at the end of the day. The goal is to make money, and the goal is to actually help people and find a medium value where it makes sense for everybody.
All right. So take me through the process here now. So I'm hypothetically the influencer. Do you reach out to me? Do I reach out to you? How does that marriage at first start? And then what does the onboarding look like? And what is the sell from you to the influencer?
Absolutely. And so basically what we've started out is like I said, my personal, how do I say it? Our starting board of all the people and the influencers that we prospected already. I think we have about 65 million followers worth of influencers on that wait list at the moment, just through Instagram. And those are out of personal connections that I have. So a lot of these people are coming directly from me just because we're getting started. And these are also people that I truly believe in are going to be able to help out anywhere from people from, Love Island, trainers, athletes, influencers, anybody in that realm. I've kind of added to that list. I've outreached them. We have them set up, ready to go. As far as just like, on a person to person basis. Onboarding is where we're basically going to take that list of the 65 million followers worth of people, and we're going to go through and be like, okay, cool. Who are our hero products? Like we said, start out with those top 5 people. From those top 5 people, the onboarding is going to be outreach, talk to them, schedule a call. We give them forms to fill out, basically, integrating all the information that they do on their week-to-week basis. What do you want to sell? We want to create these products for these influencers, not just give them something that they don't care about, because at the end of the day, it's going to come down to them actually make sure that they post and actually create these products for them to be able to, monetize their following. And so we want to be able to make sure that these influencers are happy with what they're promoting and selling, and it's just not another product. We want this to be their product that is personalized towards them. From there, we actually have AI systems. So I think if you're not using AI in 2026, you're behind. And so we have AI systems that are going to be able to help, take all that information and help bring that into our programs that we've trained this AI for. I've been working on this since July. We've been building this AI. So we have perfected this thing properly.
What system? You don't have to give me obviously the crazy details, but what systems, what AI platforms, what LLMs, what are you creating agents? What are you doing with your AI?
So we actually create our own AI in the background. And to be honest, I hired tech nerds to do that for me. So I've got my tech nerds on the back end who have absolutely been killing it in the scene. I've been using a company called Create. They've been actually helping me grow and scale. And these guys are elite. They've done everything for me from top to bottom. Here's the thing. I'm not one of those guys. I'm the best trainer you can ever talk to. You put me in front of anything when it comes to AI or creating those models in the back end when it comes to coding, it's just not my time and effort. So that's exactly what we talked about earlier, your time sacrificed for your money. So, I pump all my money into this business and really promote all the developers and all the back end guys to be able to build that. So to answer your question with that, I don't quite know, but it is a high level AI that we are able to grow so much. And it blows my mind every time I've used it. I've used Claude. I use the ChatGPT. I use like a bunch of different AIs on a consistent basis. I've got a Claude bot with my company as well. That answers that question. Obviously, I use and integrate within my systems. But with the AI, it's phenomenal to really see, and it blows your mind on. You're like, wow, this is top level stuff.
No doubt.
But yeah, kind of back to it, the onboarding process. Our AI systems are able to make these products. We go through, we revise them, we make them better, make sure that everything's perfect. We send them to the influencer, create these products. Then from there, we build them, their custom landing page. We take the interactive dashboards of these products. So we're going to basically make interactive products so that you can go in there, you can like edit things, you can type things out. In the future, I'm working on trying to integrate, I'm talking to my tech nerds about how we can integrate a health AI system. So it's like, all right, I went to the gym today and I hurt my left shoulder. How can I work around that? I'm currently traveling. I'm in a hotel gym today. How can I have an alteration to this workout in a hotel gym? So create different variations and stuff like that and have an AI integrated into it. But now I'm learning about how you have to have certain tokens and doing all these different things for each time you use the AI and how expensive that can get over time.
Can be. Yeah, no doubt.
Thousands of millions of people on the platform, hopefully. And so we're trying to figure that out at the moment, how exactly we're going to grow and scale. But back to that. So we take the influencer, talk to them, schedule the call, get the information, input it into the AI, build out the custom landing page, and take the product that we had built out with the AI, make that into a digitized product, and then input that into the landing page, get approval from the influencer. And then we have a go-to-market strategy that we're currently going through with the influencers. We already have a list of influencers that we're working with properly to be able to get that go-to-market strategy. It's about 3 to 4 weeks on that go-to-market strategy. So it's going to come like basically you want to build the hype around the product. You don't just want to launch something out of nowhere and be like, hey guys, we're working on building something. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Tease the product online. How many people would like to, buy my workouts? If you're curious about my workouts, what would you do? Would you be interested in buying my workouts? Whatever, stuff like that.
Do a lot of these influencers that you're going to work with, do they already have like a personal training kind of platform that they're selling already? Or are these people that are just basically general influencers that aren't necessarily fitness people, selling an online coaching business or something along those lines?
So I think that's the cool thing about what sets us apart is we're working with like other companies, like I don't know if you've heard of Ladder or Playbook or something like that, but basically they do something similar to exactly what I'm doing. I'm not reinventing the wheel at the end of the day, but what we are doing is we're changing our target audience. So the target audience for them is going to be like working with trainers and people who are actually having tons of clients already to be able to integrate. Our goal is to work with, instead of fitness influencers, it's fit influencers, people who are in shape, who have a good following, who actually have people who are curious about their stuff, who've never been able to offer that to their people before. That's what we're able to come in and do. And so this is as simple and easy as your favorite influencer goes to the gym, they do a workout, they post a picture on their story, and they just tag a link and it says my workouts. Copy, paste onto the link. People can go click on it and it's click to buy. Simple
and the influencer gets a cut, and you get a cut. In essence,
yes, it's a revenue share. Yes, sir.
Yep, nice.
Yeah, so the revenue share models, what we're working with currently, we do have add-ons in the future, which are going to be like running paid ads, the marketing support on that end. Also, integrating other things in the future. We have a lot of things we're excited for. I'm not going to talk about today, but
understood.
V2, V3 with the company, they're going to be integrated where it's going to be add-ons. Anybody who doesn't fit our criteria of people that we're going to start with, but still want to do the build outs, we do have an upfront charge. That varies based upon, your goals and what you're looking for. But we do charge people and are still able to help people, even if they don't quite meet the criteria to be on the revenue share model.
Understood. So you're basically, you have two different avenues in which you can market to, right? You're trying to find the influencer, but you're also trying to find the marketing partners to offer products, peptides, nutritional supplements, those type of things. So you're kind of going after it in two different ways where you're going to get, some type of rev share on both aspects in essence, which is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And being able to market those products properly. I mean, if you have a page that is having access to all these influencers with millions and millions of views, any ad that you have on that website is also driving revenue and stuff like that. That's ad placement for anything at the end of the day, but creating an opportunity for these brands to be able to integrate their product that correlate to direct sales and not just promotion from these influencers is also a very large thing at the end of the day that is going to have a lot of integration in the future.
So how many people do you have on your Topset team as of right now?
I currently have 2 full-time employees, people who are working for me.
And what is their job right now? What are they doing right now?
My COO and CFO. Of the company. Payments, obviously, with this, with the rev share splits and stuff like that, get really confusing. So having somebody who's able to grow, scale, and help us make sure that we keep our books in line is number one. Number two is chief of operations. Her name is Ella Caggiano. She's my best friend. She's been helping grow this thing since the beginning. We've gone through a lot of growing pains with this company, to say the least. Everybody always talks about on their podcasts and their videos and, my content where it's always rainbows and lollipops. I've been through hell and back with this company, but I'm so excited to be able to.
In what way? Let's dive into that real quick. What way? Like what's been the challenges for you thus
far?
Right,
yeah. So trusting the wrong people with your money to be able to create this business. I had a guy who was working as me, Ella, and another guy who we were helping build out this company. Won't say his name on here, but basically, I gave him, quite a large lump sum of money to be able to help me build out the product. Again, I had the idea. I'm the trainer. I need, people who can code, create digital products, and actually help me bring this to life. And that was that. And so I paid him quite a chunk of money. At the end of the day, he did not come through with what he was supposed to do, and he took that money and ran. Yeah, so it basically put me in a tough financial spot. I took a loan out from a place to be able to get that done, and all that money was burned in thin air and was taken away from me.
So what'd you learn from that? What'd you learn from that?
Don't trust everybody. I think that that at the end of the day, you feel like you're kind of invincible, in that everybody's always going to help you and everybody's there to be able to make sure everything's perfectly. And, from if I went back, it's hard to really tell, see the BS in it. But at the end of the day, get multiple opinions. I think that was my problem. I kind of jumped into it too quickly, heard one guy tell me the right things and how much he's going to help and said all the right stuff. And I'm like, let's get to work. Let's do it. Kind of rushed into it rather than sitting back, analyzing, finding everything. So, now Ella has helped me, overcome that, get through that as well. Rerouting into a marketing team, ComCreate, has been the best option I've ever done in my entire life. Like, these guys took what this dude was doing to a complete another level with AI integrations on a large level. We took the AI that we were building with the other company and made it just so much better. These guys are all also younger dudes who were just super flush in the scene of AI integration, online products, anything social media related. These guys have been on it, and they're also a one-stop shop for building the website, AI integration, posting strategies, marketing strategies, running ads, stuff like that.
Where are they based out of?
They are based out of San Diego, California. So, yeah, I called one of my friends up, who's one of the owners of the business. And, this was a rough time for me. And I was like, hey, kind of explained to him my situation. I was like, I need your help. And I promise I'll do everything I can to help you out. He's like, brother, I got you. And so they took care of me, and man, it's been amazing to really see, their work. It's phenomenal what they've done. So super excited to be able to share this more. Again, everything's kind of just getting really close to launch. So I would say by the end of this month, we're going to be fully up, launch, ready to go. Have a big launch party.
I was going to say, what's your launch party? What's the strategy look like?
Launch party gives many influencers and eyes and cameras there as possible, and just create a wait list of these influencers. Get more people involved, and just get the brand awareness out there, and just get people to really understand what Topset is and what we're about. Strategies can be able to host that in a city where there's a mass amount of influencers, and also try to do this in the proper way. And that's kind of like my launch strategy, is just get as many people to understand the product and understand what Topset is as a whole.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So if people are looking to find you, Jake, first of all, I appreciate all your time. Got a lot of good nuggets out of this, from one type of business, kind of not pivoting to another, but actually expanding, building your portfolio to another one. Right. And they work cohesively together, which is nice. Where, obviously you have a fairly big, following. What would you say is the best place for people to get a hold of you? Are you willing to answer questions, kind of learn more about what you're offering, those type of things?
Yeah, of course. Anybody can reach out to me through my Instagram, jake.rath. You guys are able to reach out to me. Also, my company, Rathletics.performance, or Rathletics.fit on Instagram. You guys are able to go check that out. If you guys are interested in personal training, come check me out. You guys are welcome to shoot me a DM. Just let me know if you guys have any questions. I have a link in my bio where you can fill out regarding any information. Any trainers who are looking for advice in the fitness scene, I mean, I've been able to help so many people just kind of overcome their experiences, from what I've experienced and gone through with my companies, and then continue to go through. I've like to be able to shed light on that to other people so they don't make the same mistakes I do.
Perfect. So before we go, I always like to ask, what is the biggest lesson you can share? You kind of talked about it a little bit leading into this, but what is the biggest advice you can share for somebody that is looking to do something similar to this as you are?
I would like to say my biggest lesson and piece of advice is go into your business with proper intentions. If you're coming into the fitness industry and coming into the coaching industry just to make money and that's it, you're in the wrong industry. You want to come into this industry to make sure that you're actually there to help people achieve their goals and achieve their results. And if you're not here for that, then honestly, there's no need for you to be able to be in this scene. So make sure that you actually treat your clients properly. You never know one client, that your smallest client can also lead to the biggest leads as well. So treat the people properly, make sure you help these people actually achieve their results. And next thing you know, you've got a successful business.
Awesome. Well, again, I want to thank you very, very much for taking your time out of your busy schedule to pop on, and anything I can do in the future to help promote you and Topset and kind of get this thing rolling for you. Again, just reach out to me any way I can. I'm happy to help. And again, look forward to another episode of Breaking the Ceiling going forward. And I want to thank Jake again for his time.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Scott. Have a good day.